Welcome home to St. Anne's. We want you to know that you're welcome to join us at 10 a.m. on Sundays. Please be sure to hit subscribe to receive our sermons. We can't wait to meet you.
Today is the fourth Sunday in Lent. Now, if I were really good at my Latin, I would use the Latin, but I'm not going to. So we commonly call this Refreshment Sunday. And it means it's kind of like an Advent when we're really, really close. We're so close to Easter. And so in church history, this is kind of a day to take a deep breath, relax a little bit. So if you gave up something for Lent and you just need a quick breather, today is your day. Take a breather, but it's just a day to take a break because we're almost there and it's been a long haul. So there you go. There's my church history lesson for the day. You're welcome. Take a break. Take a breather, take a nap, do what you got to do because we're really close. Okay, so gospel today, really glad I didn't have to read that because it's super long. And I love it when I have to read a super long gospel and then preach about it. So God bless, Sean. Thank you. But this is a really, really common story. And it's kind of one of those secular stories, like literally everybody knows this. Like even if you're not into the whole Christian faith, like you know the prodigal son, right? Everybody knows it, which makes it super fun to preach about. Yeah, it's great because everybody knows it. But here's the thing. I think we preach it wrong. And I think we think about it wrong. Because the whole point is the prodigal son returns, and we always like to think of ourselves as the prodigal son, right? I mean, that's kind of where we go to. And I will be honest, there are probably people in this church, and there are Christians who prodigal son might be a good image for them because they come back to the church after a long stretch, and we all went to college, and we know what that was like, and hey-oh, I lived to tell the tale, and I'm still here. And so that's really frequently our focus is the story of the prodigal son, this sense that even though we all screw up sometimes, God welcomes us back, and he's really, really excited we're here. But take a step back, because why does Jesus tell this story? Who is he telling it to? Because that's really important. He's telling it to the Pharisees. And why is he telling it to the Pharisees? He's telling it to the Pharisees because they're really, really irritated that he's being nice to these sinner people. And they do not approve of this at all. Because they're like, hello, we're the Pharisees. We're the good ones. And you're over here just like hanging out with these people. Like they do not even heck, they don't even know what the law is. But they sure as heck ain't following it. So why are you being all nice to them? And saying that they're going to get salvation because, hello, we're the Pharisees. And hello, we're the Pharisees. And that's a harder thing to grasp, I think. Because I think for most of us, we can grasp the fact that we're sinners and that we've screwed up, and isn't it great that God's going to welcome us back? It's a whole different thing when we have to step back and say, we don't want God to love other people. Because that's really where we are. And that's what Jesus is saying to the Pharisees. Is, you seem really, really concerned that God and I love everybody. Why do you feel so concerned about that? And that's something that we need to hear because it's something that we do. We get really, really worried that other people are going to have our stuff. Like, wait, if God loves everybody, then I'm going to lose something. Wait, if everybody's middle class, then what am I? Like, we can't have that. We can't have equality because if everybody's equal, then I'm not more equal. And I've got a lot riding on my being better than somebody. I've got to be more self-righteous than somebody. God's got to love me better than somebody. I mean, wait, everybody? Yeah, everybody. Everybody? No, yeah. And Jesus is like, yeah, everybody. God loves everybody. No, wait. Everybody? Yeah. Everybody. And we have a really hard time hearing that because we're kind of like the oldest son. This is every oldest child's favorite gospel ever, right? Because we all know where we stand on this sibling rivalry, right? Personally, I'm the youngest. I know, shocking to everybody. Ask my sister what it's like. It's great. It's great. It's great. It's great. She's so lucky. I'm really the one that suffers. But every oldest child, because I have an oldest child, like I'm raising oldest child, and I'm like, oh my gosh, can I just raise all youngest all the time? But oldest children are the rule followers, right? They're the pleasers. Any oldest children here? Right? Okay. Am I wrong? You guys are like, we follow those rules. We do it right. And there is a right way and there's a wrong way and you're wrong. Right? And the youngest ones, okay, because I'm the youngest one, we can be honest, we can be real, right? We're like, whatever. It'll be fine. You go distract mom and dad and I'll do my thing. Okay? Yeah. And they'll be so busy being proud of you for winning all those awards that they will not be worried about what I'm doing back here. Yeah, you think we don't know? Oh, yeah, we know. We have a plan, right? So we have this beautiful story of sibling rivalry, right? We've got the youngest son, the wild child. He's like, well, older brother, he's got this. He's good. I'm just going to take my stuff. I'm going to go hang out. I'm going to go to Panama City for a while. Get a couple tattoos. And oldest sibling stays behind because he's a rule follower. He's like, I got to run this joint while y'all off partying, doing your thing. And that works for a while until the youngest shows back up. That youngest shows back up, right, from Panama City, and dad's glad. And you're like, hello, you've had the police called and they told you how many times you have to bail your kid out, and you're still glad? But I've been here the whole time following the rules, like making this all work, right? And so we have this sibling rivalry. Now, the problem really arises when the older sibling refuses to be excited, right? Because the older sibling has a sense of loss. Wait, I've been following the rules. I've been doing what I'm supposed to do. You should love me best, right? And wait, you're excited that the bad kid is coming home? Right? What? Any parents here ever have sibling rivalry with your kids? I mean, maybe it's just mine. It's just mine, right? Just mine? Okay, just mine. And how many of us, we suffer this feeling of loss, right? Because, wait, I go to church every Sunday, and I pray all the time, and I know what Lent is. Like, I'm just like, show up on Easter and be like, what up, Cadbury eggs? Like, I've done the whole Lent thing. I earned my Cadbury eggs. Y'all just like show up the day after Valentine's Day buying your Cadbury eggs. Like, you earned it. You didn't earn those Cadbury eggs. I earned my Cadbury eggs, right? Anyone know a Christian? I don't know, maybe yourself, who feels this way? You're like, what up with these other people who are like, we're going to go to Christmas and do the Christmas thing, but like, you don't even know what Advent is, right? I mean, anyone ever been to a church that complains about the seeing ears? They're like, oh, seeing ears, those people that come for like Christmas and Easter, and they like take their pictures, and then they go home. They don't even know, right? Right? We've all heard these conversations. And yet, God is talking to us. We are those people. We are the oldest child who's like, you can't come to my party. Oh, no. And in fact, if you go to that party, I'm not going to your party. Nope, because you don't even know what Easter is. You think it's about rabbits and Cadbury eggs. It's not. That's a fertility symbol. Has nothing to do with Jesus. Go ahead, drop that to somebody sometime. What Easter, never mind. We're not going to get into that history lesson. And yet, what is our real loss? And that's what Jesus asks the Pharisees. What are you actually losing? Because guess what? you still have all your inheritance. You're still my son. There's still salvation. You lose nothing by love. Because love is not something that there's a specific amount. It's not a commodity. There's not just this much. And if I love you, then I don't have as much left, right? And I feel like I have this conversation with my kids all the time, and I'm sure there are other parents who have had this conversation with their kids. Love is not a commodity. It's not a thing. And when there's some shared over here, there's not as much for you. That's not how it works. And that's not how God works. And that's not how salvation works. And that's not how love works. And when are we going to learn that? There is not just so much equality. There is not just so much love. There is just not so much salvation. And it's parsed out. And if there are too many of us, there's just not enough to go around. That's not how God works. And we are convinced that that is how it works, right? And yet every single person here who has multiple children, who has multiple grandchildren, knows that love is not something that can be broken apart. There's always more. There's always more. It's infinite. And the more you have, the more it grows. That's how love works. And that's why we have to be reminded again and again and again. Because guess what? We are the oldest children. We, as the church, are the oldest children. We think we've been following the rules. We've been doing the things that we're supposed to be doing, and we have earned God's love, right? I mean, I put in my time. God better love me because I go, and I could be doing anything else this morning, but I'm not. I'm here, right? And those other people, they're not. And yet, that's not how it works. Because God celebrates and loves all people. Every single one of them. So here's the question. Because we don't know what the end of the story is. And I think that's really, really powerful. I think that's a powerful thing that Jesus does. We don't know what the oldest son is going to do. We don't know if in this conversation with his dad, God, you realize that's an image, right? Okay, we're all on the same page. Okay. So we don't know if after this conversation with dad, he's going to celebrate or not. Or if he's going to be so tied up in his anger, in his sense of loss, in his jealousy, in his sense of ownership, that he doesn't go. And we get to make that choice. And that's a powerful choice because it's a choice that we get to make every single day. It's a choice that we make as middle-class white people. It's a choice that we make as the church. It is a choice that all of us make every single day. When we have this sense that other people haven't earned the stuff that we've earned. We can cloak ourselves in our self-righteous anger. Or we can go to the party and celebrate.
We want you to know that you're welcome to join us at 10 a.m. on Sundays. Please be sure to hit subscribe to receive our sermons. We can't wait to meet you.